Hello, everyone in internet land. I'm Lance. This is Ines.
Nice to meet you on internet land.
I've brought Ines Simpson out to Australia a few times to teach her fantastic process, the Simpson protocol. And the last time we couldn't do that because of this whole COVID thing. So we organised to do it online, and it was fun. It was good. It actually worked a little bit better because it helped everybody understand how easy this is to do, even just online. So we're doing another one, and it's this one's going to be even better because you got both of us doing it. Maybe not. Anyway, Ines,
Better.
can you tell us when you're going to be here online in Australian easy times to deal with?
August 28th, 29th, and 30th for the first 3 day increments of it's about 4.5 hours depending. And on September 4th, 5th, and 6th, then we go into the last 2 days. So this is ultimately our regular, what we did in 4 days training. We're now doing in 2 long weekends, right? So 6 days. And then if we need to, we always, if we're getting excited and we like what we're doing, sometimes we sneak in a couple hours extra.
Fantastic.
So it all depends. But seriously, we found it's been the greatest way of doing it because 4.5 hours isn't too long, and yet the focus is there. You're totally in it right now. Practicing in rooms together is great. And
the benefit I heard of a couple of people that really enjoyed from last time as well is if they felt they didn't get anything and they were a little bit shy about asking that question again, they knew they had a recording at the end of the day as well to do revision for themselves, or that, I'm sure a few of them will be watching that again a couple of months later going.
Answering questions more than once anyway, because I know not everybody's caught it the first time.
Yeah.
So never be afraid to ask anything. That's great. Yeah. So, but what I like about it, Lance, is that you are going to be doing most of the work. I like that part.
Well, I like doing hypnosis, so I have zero problem doing demonstrations and having some fun sharing experiences with people.
Yeah. So that's what we do in this class. We share experiences, right?
Could you tell us a little bit about the Simpson protocol of what makes this thing a little bit?
What's important about Simpson protocol is that the hypnotist never has to have any judgment. In fact, it's detrimental if they make judgments in it. It's about having the client do the work themselves totally. Most of the time, you don't even need to know what they're doing the work for. I mean, if I'm doing at a convention or in a class, I never ask them what they're working on. I just start working on them. And they're already leading me. All we do is ask them questions and they just lead us right through the whole thing. So you never have to know what you're working on necessarily. You don't have to take a judgment of which way should I go here, because it's very simple. You just let their mind do it. Or what we call it as in our construct is that the super conscious mind is doing it, which means it's the part that can do anything and find out anything about them. And ultimately it works.
And this can be as content free as you like as well.
Yes.
The person doesn't have to admit what they're dealing with. If you've got somebody who's a bit more apprehensive about sharing the struggle they're dealing with at the moment.
In fact, we're sort of, my opinion about doing things with people is you don't want them to roll in their story. And you don't want to know all those things. You don't need to in SP know all those things. It's beneficial if you let them so they, so they feel heard, but don't go beyond that. And from there on, you just start doing the work. So the sooner, the better. And we just teach them self-hypnosis in the first session. And after that, we never have to do another induction with it. Yahoo! I don't mind doing the induction. I used to have some pretty good fun doing, instant inductions and all that. But it was ultimately what we want to do is we want to get them as deep as we can go. So there's a structure to deepening, and it's very easy. Very easy. We don't take a lot of time to deepen people. We get there very quickly. And if you watch any of my videos, you'll see, well, 10 minutes maybe, and everybody's ready to go pretty much. I don't expect you to do that the first time you're practicing, by the way, just in case you get concerned about that. But,
and with working online with this, how often over the past, let's say 3 years, would you have done sessions in person compared to online anyway?
well, for the last 2 years before COVID, I was working online all the time. And I had maybe a third in the office and the rest online. And now it's pretty well dropped to just about 1 or 2 people want to come out and see me. Even the ones that live two blocks away want to do it in their house because they can just lay on their bed and enjoy their session. And I can leave them in trance when I leave, or when I shut the screen down, and they just stay there. So you can't do that in your office. You got a client coming next, So they love the online stuff. So really get used to doing it. I think it's very important because after COVID, I think at least half the people will want to stay doing it online.
Yeah, I liked that part of the last class we did because it was you doing what you actually normally do. Before, in person, I could tell, well, you do this more online. You most of your in-person stuff is in class. So it makes sense to have this online. Now, with the Simpson protocol, does somebody need to have any experience first?
Well, we used to think that you had to have lots of experience because this was advanced thinking. Nothing like having a big fat head. But really, it's ultimately people who are healers or want to be healers or have backgrounds in any kind of therapy that can understand those things. And they can learn this just as well as anybody who's got the distinction of being a hypnotist. So we've opened it up a little bit because I found that those people sometimes are more open because they don't have to erase their other trainings before this so they accept this easier. Some of the other people will have so much training that they'll say, well, what about this and what about that? And and then you'll tell them and you'll eventually, they'll all shift it all at the same time. But sometimes the people who are brand new as non-hypnotists do just as well in this, is for sure.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. And I know if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to have a chat and answer them.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll be the same if they're happy to reach out to you.
Yep. Always. And you can always go online and find demos of SP on there. There's lots on YouTube, etc. But when you want to come to this class, you'll probably have heard from friends who've already taken it and how much they liked it. So there's quite a few people around Australia now that do SP, and I really appreciate that. I've only been coming to your country for what's that, a couple of years, and this year was going to be my 3rd year, and now I'm still sitting at home watching you, but it's okay, it's winter, but I wouldn't mind making it there as soon as we're allowed to go anywhere. Yeah.
Well, thanks for taking time to give us a little bit of info about the class. Look forward to it, and we'll see you online in late August.
Late August it is. See you guys then.